Owner of Talents here, and I just want to say that we are ecstatic to be a major sponsor of HomeFront Sitrep, a community that is ran by veterans and made for veterans. So thank you for tuning in. Talents was formed in order to create a music scene that was together in the form of a collective, so that no one has to do everything on their own. And guess what? We've been doing this for free for over a year. So please go and check out Talents through Facebook or through our official website at www.talenttalents.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in to HomeFront Sitrep, a veteran-owned and operated podcast just for you.
My name's Rick Ames. I own Louisville Local Entertainment, a company for music shows, promotions, and bookings in the Louisville music scene. As a veteran, it's my honor to support and sponsor local veteran-owned businesses such as HomeFront Sitrep, made by veterans for veterans. So if you're in the music business and need some help booking or promoting a show for free, look me up, Louisville Local Entertainment. And thanks for tuning in to HomeFront Sitrep.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Hey guys, Matt Verdi here with Veteran Mortgage Solutions. As rates are dropping, home values are going to start to go up. It's time to start looking if you're looking to purchase a home. That being said, we are an all-military veteran loan officer team. We know the ins and outs of the VA home loan. We are considered the experts in this field. Give us a call today. Go to our website, veteranmortgagesolutions.com. Fill out my quick form. I'll give you $500 off towards closing costs. Have a great day.
Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. How is everybody doing? Miss Candace, how are you?
I'm great.
Man, it's so glad to have you back. You've been busy the last, you were sick the last, not this last night's episode, but
Monday. Last
Mondays.
Monday.
Yeah, last Monday. And then
Yeah, I had a little bit of an MS flare up, but it's all good.
and then last night you were supposed to be on, and you decided to leave Indianapolis a little too late and got stuck in some traffic. So
Just call me out, Willis. Call me out.
I am calling you out, bro. You got
But you know what? It was awesome because me and Becca, my daughter, went to our very first MLB game on Saturday in
you went and
Cincinnati.
You went up and seen Cincinnati Reds play. Did they at least
Well,
get the win?
No, and that you know what? It was okay for being like our first MLB game. Like not having a favorite team. Like I have one that I'm favoring, but neither one of those were playing this weekend. But it kind of made the experience good because we could have cared less who was playing or who won, and
Right.
But we were in this handlebar suite, which was amazing. Like, talk about open bar, open food buffet, and not just like your dogs and burgers, like everything, like chicken parm, mac and cheese. Like, it was great. Oh my God, it was stupid exciting. So we're ruined. It's just, no MLB game is ever going to be the same.
MLB games are fun. Doc, she says she had an MS flare up.
Yeah,
That's what kind of flare up she had.
Yeah, man.
So that's awesome. Yeah, I've taken my daughters to a couple of Cincinnati games up there, and my daughter Grace loves Cincinnati Reds now, and it's amazing. But now, of course, we didn't have sweet tickets or anything like that, so we didn't, have the luxury of going inside in the air conditioner and eating some.
Oh, it was there was 3 different places we could have sat, inside or out on these big old like comfy chairs, and then there was the terrace. Like, it was awesome.
Oh man,
it was stupid awesome.
Look who's watching. Samuel Deeds, my brother from Tokyo. What's up, Deeds? How's the weather in Tokyo, brother?
I'm Brian. Hi, Brian. Hi,
and Brian
James.
Roof. What's going on, Brian?
Yes, Doc. It's multiple sclerosis. Yes, sir. I figured you would have already known this one.
So last night we had Hero Stock on. Jason Steiner from Hero Stock came on, and we talked about what they do, with Hero Stock. Sorry, Grace was bringing me some water because I already drank my other bottle of water, so she's bringing me some water down.
Why is Doc acting surprised right now?
I don't think he knew. I don't think Doc knows. Did you tell Doc?
I feel like everybody knew.
I don't know.
That's not something I had.
Deeds, you know what? It's raining in Kentucky as well. Right now it's beautiful. It's sun shining. But
finally,
the next 2 days there's supposed to be alert levels 3 and 4.
All week. It's supposed to rain all week.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So last night we had Hero Stock on, and I was talking with Jason, and they put on concerts for veterans and first responders. It was supposed to be a one-off kind of thing, but now they're touring. They're going to 28 different states. 29 will be Kentucky, because after I got off the podcast with him last night, this morning I started reaching out to Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce, the city of Shepherdsville, and we're gonna have Hero Stock in Kentucky. Waiting on getting some things finalized, but once the dates are finalized, I will broadcast that live here. So HomeFront Sitrep will be bringing Hero Stock to Kentucky, so I'm super excited about that. And we've already got plans for next year to make it even bigger for next year. 3 days.
Happy Monday, Willis. You can do it.
I know, right?
More crowns, and we'll make it through this episode.
Hold on.
I gotta marine it down for Willis tonight.
I'm gonna go with confetti crowns today.
Okay, hey,
I'm gonna do
whichever one works. Eat a couple of them. We can do this.
Yeah, Brian. So to be, they've got 3 concerts already scheduled right now. So to be actually 4 concerts, I believe, because you got Rolla, Missouri, Nashville, Nebraska, and then hopefully Kentucky. Yeah. So.
Look, he was already answering. Thanks, Brian.
So Brian is the host of
It's
Every
Monday,
Day's.
and Willis is trying. He's trying extra hard right now.
So Brian's the host of Every Day's a Saturday. He's also one of the founding members of Military United podcast streams, which we are now part of. And then that's a whole thing, man. I tell you what, Military United podcast streams is awesome. The Heroes Media Group, which we've been a part of since February 28th, I believe, when we, just the things that the community that we're building at HomeFront Sitrep, and we can interview great guests like who we got coming on today. A little bit about our guest today. She does host a podcast. It's called Monica Sanford Show. She is a doctor of nursing, which is freaking super cool. She's an acute care nurse practitioner with specialty practice in cardiology and hospitalist service. I can't even say that word. She graduated from Johns Hopkins University with her Bachelors, Georgetown University with her Masters, and then Vanderbilt University with her Doctor of Nursing practice. Bro, this lady is a total badass. And then top it all off, she's been married to a Marine for 35 years.
Look, that takes a lot. Like that woman, I got just that alone. Yeah. I give her like.
And he's not enlisted till he was an officer. He retired as a lieutenant colonel from the Marine Corps.
Regardless, he was a Marine. He's a Marine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm kind of partial to Marines and Navy corpsmen. So.
But anybody that can survive that, like, more power to her.
Oh, for sure. So without further ado, let's bring Miss Monica to the stage. Welcome, Miss Monica. How are you?
Good. How are you? And he was actually prior enlisted. So.
So he's a stag. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. He was. That's when I met him. He was enlisted he wasn't even an officer yet. So.
Oh man, that's awesome. And now you've got adult children, so it's just you and your husband pretty much at the house, and then your doggies, your fur babies, as we say over here on this end. Is it bugging you, Candace?
It's on my face.
What is? Oh, funny. Oh, cute.
There we go.
Let's see. All right, let's see.
Oh, no, don't.
There we go. Let's do it this way.
We can do that.
So yeah, we love our fur babies over here. I got two of them upstairs, and you might hear them every now and then if the kids don't keep them under control. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is fun, and
awesome.
Being a spouse is definitely some work too. But I have some work for spouses that are listening to later on. So
awesome.
To help their active duty and veterans.
I just feel like I feel like it's extra work for those Marine spouses, though.
Yeah.
It is. My wife will testify to that. So, Miss Monica, I did a little bit of an intro of who you are, but can you go ahead and tell our listeners who you are, if you don't mind?
Yeah, definitely. And your wife has to keep the confetti crayons from you. Is that the?
Yeah.
Or she gives them to you.
She gives them to me. I mean, actually, Candace bought them for me for my birthday, and I got like 10 boxes of crayons down there.
Yeah. So I am a doctor of nursing practice. I've been practicing altogether cardiology and hospitalist, which is just admitting hospitalists. If you come into the ER and have to be admitted to the hospital, I go down and admit you. So it's anything critical care, acute care. And I am faculty here in Pensacola, Florida. We have University of West Florida. I teach the nurse practitioner program. But mainly for this, I have been I am a VA disability claims provider, meaning when you go to the VA, file your claim, and they send you to a provider, I'm one of the ones they send you to. So have a lot of information. I know, got to have those crayons. So that's what I do for this. And yes, I've been married to a Marine for 35 years and 2 kids. And one actually, my daughter is in Boise, Idaho. So she is in Boise, Idaho. She works for a judge out there. She's an attorney. And my son is a author. And so, yes, and our fur babies, cat and a dog.
I mean, it just sounds like you got a really, really busy life.
A little bit.
And you didn't even touch on some of the things, like some of the awards that you've won, some of the things that you've been recognized for in your community and stuff like that. I mean, right here, you received in 2020 the American Association of Nurse Practitioners State Award for Excellence and the National Heart Hero Award from Mended Heart Organization in 2023 for your advocacy efforts to cardiac patients and their families. I mean, you just, I mean, on top of doing the podcast, on top of being a doctor of nursing and everything else that you've got going on, you're just a badass.
Oh, well, thank you. No, you guys are, but it's a privilege and an honor to be able to see veterans. It really is. I love seeing them. And I also see patients at a free clinic here in town. That actually is so rewarding and so giving. So I just love seeing those patients and then my veterans. You know, if I could pick 2 days out of the week to do it, one day I see veterans and one day at the free clinic, that'd be it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I mean, and you know, and all right, so you do VA claims. You help veterans with VA disability claims and stuff like that.
Right.
Can you explain what got you started down that path?
Good question. Actually, I have a friend here that works at the VA here in Pensacola. I've known him quite a while. I do a lot of legislative stuff, either go see legislators in Tallahassee here in Florida or at DC, Capitol Hill, and either for nurse practitioner issues or cardiology issues or veterans issues. So anytime he had an issue come up at the VA here, or he had somebody coming in town, meaning the undersecretary of the VA came and he calls or texts and says, can you be here? Things like that. So getting really involved in seeing what the veterans needed. And then from a personal standpoint, my husband, when he was in, and this is kind of what, was the thrust of it, was when he was in, he did a jump and broke his foot, broke his ankle. And, when you're 20 something years old, it may not matter. And you're like, just brush it off and keep going. And no, now he's almost 60. So it affects you. And so I wanted all these young veterans just coming out. And then the PACT Act, actually, they just did a big push for bringing veterans back into the VA. So they just needed a lot more help. And so I went in and so I love seeing the veterans. So it was kind of business and personal and the need. And somebody called and told me there was a huge need. So there I was.
Yeah. There is a huge need because as a veteran myself, I'm just now going through the process. So I've been out since 2004, and I was one of the stubborn ones. Oh, there's other veterans that need the VA more than I do. And, my PTS and my night terrors and my body's breaking down. I'm 45 years old and I already need 2 partial knee replacements. And, because I was infantry in the Marine Corps, and, that's one of the roughest, you're marching 25 miles with a 100-pound rucksack on your back at a 3
without any rest.
Yeah. Without
like
any
day
rest.
after day after day, repetitive use.
And my wife was like, hey, you need to start going to the VA. So I'm doing, I did my initial appointments and stuff like that. And then I just recently filed my disability, my intent to file and stuff like that. And just got my first letter from them. And they're like, well, we need medical records from this place and this place. And you have 30 days to and then I'm like, how am I going to navigate this in 30 days to get all the information that they're wanting? And I'm like, well, I gave you authorization. You can call these people and get the information yourself. Why can't you guys do it? Yeah. But that's where it falls back on the veteran to do this. And luckily we have people like you that help veterans through the process, because as well as I do, navigating the VA is not easy. It's not an easy process.
Well, and on that note, if you come in with no records and no diagnosis already, or no records of, because a lot of these guys and ladies come in and have, if they say, I don't know what my diagnosis was, I don't know when it started, how it started, things like that, that is a perfectly good answer. I mean, we will figure it out. So if you come in with no records, of course it helps the process, because it is a process, but and you have to be patient. But because now too, since the PACT Act last year, we just have this influx more of people, but we also have a lot more providers. So we're trying to make the process smoother. But a lot of service members didn't want to feel like they were complaining. they didn't want to complain. They didn't want to go to a clinic or a base, physician, things like that, and get it documented, because they didn't want to lose flight status or hazard pay, or they didn't want to lose deployment status. A number of reasons why they did not claim. So when you go into your VA provider, that is the time to not suck it up. Do not, you tell them everything. I want the entire story from the minute you think it happened. And even if it didn't, you can't pin it back to something in service. I still want that story. I've had guys come in and say, the minute I went to boot camp, my feet started hurting, my knees, my hips, my back. They pile all this stuff on me and say, go, march day after day without any musculoskeletal rest. And that's a repetitive use. That is, so I try to paint the entire picture for the VA.
Yeah. And that's like when I started going to the VA clinic. So I had to go to the Zorn Avenue Hospital first. And then they asked me what VA clinic was close to me. So Stony Brook was the closest. And so I started going in there. And when I first went in there, I went down through the whole list of things that is wrong with me. And, it's from the ringing in the ears, the PTS, and the hypervigilance, and the anxiety, and the bad knees, the bad ankles, the bad back, and getting up in the middle of the night and going to the bathroom 5 or 6 times. That's compensatable as well.
Yes, it is.
And there's just so many things that veterans don't know that's compensatable.
Well, and that's the thing I have is they don't know what to claim or what they can claim. And what you said earlier, I want every veteran out there to know, just because they claim, that does not mean somebody else is not going to get their money. Everybody will get, the claim, and so it is, I don't want somebody not to claim because they don't think their disability is as bad as somebody else. Just claim it. I've had veterans come in and they have 10 claims, and I do not have anything to do with the rating at all. I am the medical person. And I'll let you know what to expect when you go into a VA or a provider. But my advice would be to prepare everything you can have and do have, meaning even mentally. And this is where the spouses come in homework wise, man or woman, the spouse is, I want them to be able to give a lay statement. If they have any kind of recollection of, they were always limping, or they were always complaining of this, or snoring during sleep, or whatever it was, document it, write it down, try to remember it. So when you go into the provider, when somebody comes in and they have, because the first thing I'm going to ask you is the onset of whatever you're claiming, the date of that, where you were stationed, what your MOS was, what what the actual diagnosis was. And if you don't have it, that's fine. We will build the story together. I try to spend a ton of time with my veterans trying to build that story, but a lot of the MOS, even, and some service members don't realize how much they are exposed to the fumes, the gases, the vehicles, things like that, just the gunpowder, the sand, the dust, any kind of, and I always put on mine, occupational exposures, environmental exposures, anything we can come up with. So,
awesome. Yeah, so when I went to the Roll Call Foundation, and they helped me, do my letter in the tent. And then they also, I guess the other part of that, they had to file that as well. And, he was sitting there asking me all these questions. Do you got this? Do you got this? Do you got this? Do you got this? And, and we went through the whole spiel, and I'm like, bro, and I know I got ringing in the ears. It's always there. Some days it's better than others, and then other days it's friggin' terrible. It gets to the point where the ringing in my ear, I can actually hear my heartbeat through the ringing in my ears.
Throbbing, and
it's just like, holy cow. And and then the migraines that I get. I mean, my wife will tell you, there was times when we first got together that I'd have to go into a dark room with no sound and just sleep for a couple hours just to get rid of the migraines that I had.
And that's going to be our follow-up questions are going to be, how bad are the flares? Those days where, if it's orthopedic, something on your arm or shoulder, whatever, your back, your knees, the headaches, the migraines, how bad is it on your worst days, and talk us through those flares. And then how do you treat those. And just like you said, a dark room, cold room, take some Tylenol sinus or Tylenol Excedrin or whatever it is, or prescriptions for migraines, things like that. How do you treat those flares? And then how does it impact your functional day-to-day? Do you have to leave work because of migraines sometimes, or work because of back pain, or, things like that? I've had guys come in that they were a mechanic and now they can barely use their wrist because they did this for, cranking on things for years. And, we have a lot of veterans that they are, kind of up in age and they didn't claim one thing from Vietnam or, those we try to get through as quick as possible. But because those are presumptive service now with PACT Act. So, but we can claim any tiny little thing you think of, claim it. Let us figure it out if it's medical, if it's, but I will have to say, because you mentioned tinnitus, the ringing in the ears and the PTSD type things, those are very specific. We have to send you to specialties for those, either mental health, hearing, anything mainly in your head, either eyes, ears, dental, things like that. Those have got to go to specialty. Anything else, we can handle type thing, but.
Yeah, I mean, they asked me all kinds of questions at roll call, and I'm still waiting to go to whatever provider they send me to do my initial consult for my disability side of things, and I'm still trying to track down some buddy letters because when I was in the Marine Corps, when I was in Greece, I was in the back of a troop carrying Humvee, and we had the big high back, and then had the troop strap across the back. Well, the driver decided it would be funny to hit that creek at like 60 mile an hour. Well, the two of us that was in the very back, we went over top of the troop strap and fell into the creek, and I was knocked out for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh wow!
And never reported it because I was for one, his daddy was a lieutenant colonel. So it was a Lance Corporal that was driving. His dad was the lieutenant colonel. So I didn't want to get him in trouble with the Marine Corps. Then I didn't want to get him in trouble with his dad. He was one of my friends. So we didn't report it. My corpsman looked me over, didn't write nothing down or anything like that. But I was knocked out and I saw stars and stuff. So I now have an undocumented TBI. So I know that like it was never documented through the BAS. So now I have to find buddy letters. Well, unfortunately, the driver of the vehicle passed away a few years back. So I can't get his testament saying, hey, yeah, that's what happened. So I'm trying to track
anything you can remember, any time frame, the location you were at, the vehicle you were in, all of that stuff you just said, that would go in my report. I mean, some people do it different, but I paint the entire story. So, and the buddy letters definitely help, but just you saying it and just also say you haven't had any kind of imaging of your head, a head CT or MRI, things like that. I cannot order them, but I would request them from the VA. When you come to see me or whoever you go see, you're going to go see somebody and you're going to tell them this story and say, I've never had an image of my head. I will put that in my note and say, I need an updated image of their head. And they will send you. So that's where I say too, the process needs to, it may take a little longer if I have to order a sleep study or an x-ray or an MRI or things like that. I request a lot of things from the VA, and it's going to be up to the VA whether they order it or not, or send you just back to your primary care and let them order it. So, it takes time.
So you mentioned sleep study. So I have sleep apnea. I do have a machine. I didn't get it through the VA, so I did it.
You need to.
Well, I mean, I got one through. Well, I got a machine through my job, my insurance, my current insurance. I've had it for probably 5 years now. So I did tell them that I have sleep apnea. So that's something that we'll have to go through, and that I'm sure they're going to make me do another sleep study and stuff like that.
If it's over a year, if it's a year old or more, then probably.
I haven't had one since I first got it, and that was maybe 10 years ago, maybe.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely need another one just for updated settings and things like that. And to have it in the VA system, I would totally, if they send you for one, definitely go have it done. Yeah,
definitely.
I have a feeling I'm going to really like this episode.
Sorry.
No, it's good because there's a lot of veterans out there that are stubborn, like I was, and Doc said it right here. He had the mentality of there are people worse off than he was. But so yeah, my info is updated through my machine, like Doc
good.
said. So like they regulate it on their end. So I guess it's got a built-in modem, and they regulate it, because there's been nights where it starts out at 5.5, and then when I wake up in the morning, it's at 7. And then there's been nights where it was up to like 15. And, that's when the wife is tapping me on my shoulder. Hey, what the hell's going on with your machine? Because it's just blowing so much air into me. And I'm like, I don't know. I can control the speed of the air coming out of the machine. And,
but it's definitely good to have an updated one anyway. I mean, within a few years, 10 years is,
a long time.
Yeah.
And I got one of those Dream machines by Philips, the ones that had the big recall not too long ago.
Another reason you should maybe get an updated machine, Willis.
Well, I mean, I take care of mine.
Okay, Monica.
Listen, I take care of my machine, because I looked at the reasons why those machines were messing up like they were. It was because of how people were cleaning them, and they wasn't cleaning them the right way, and they were using like some kind of like chlorine cleaner or something also. So my machine works perfect, and I switch the hoses out every other month. The filters are every month.
Well, good. I mean, you have two big ones. Yeah, the tinnitus and the sleep apnea; those are big. Those are big, and especially if you have the migraines, and if you have any sinus stuff going on, that's been huge since Iraq and Afghanistan. A ton of our service members are coming in with sinus stuff. That's pretty, I don't want to say straightforward and easy, because we still have to get the whole story, but those, the sand and the dust, and like I said, just the burn pits especially, but anything that is a particulate matter that you came in contact with, and some service members don't realize how much they come in contact with, even on a, whatever kind of ship they're on. If they're on a ship and I'm going, your cleaning supplies, I'm literally going down everything that they could have potentially came in contact with to exacerbate or kind of, start that whole process of them having issues with migraines and sinuses and things like that. So, and pulmonary, I will send people for pulmonary function testing, because one, y'all deserve it. One, I don't have anything to do with the ratings. So that's the thing. When somebody comes in, like I said, I just do the medical thing, but paint that picture for them to give the VA, because some of the people that look at these charts at some point may not be medical. So I want these people that are not medical to understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's when you go see your provider, and I want all the veterans to know, when you go see your provider, expect to be comfortable. For one, go in wearing something comfortable. If it's a claim on your feet, your ankles, things like that, you're gonna have to take your shoes off. And some have to wear big boots or whatever because of their pain in their feet. But wear something comfortable that you can move around in. I'm having to make you do some exercises and do some range of motion exercises, and I am having to really work you out sometimes, depending on if it's hip or back or knees or whatever. Shoulders especially. Shoulders are huge. Back, neck, things like that. So, and if you have any scars, just be prepared. We're going to have to take a picture of them. I'm going to have to take a picture of the scar. I'm going to have to measure that scar. I'm going to have to measure your range of motion. How does that scar affect you? Any kind of surgeries you've had, put those down on paper just so you will know going in. And I have some veterans that have all their medications on a piece of paper, all their surgeries listed out, all of that. And it does help, kind of expedite the process.
Awesome. Yeah. I never had any, I had surgeries when I was a baby, and those records got lost because the hospital had a fire and a big flood. So I lost all of those records, but I haven't had any surgery since, other than kidney stones, which I've had a couple stents put in and stuff like that for the kidney stones, and stayed in the hospital for 7 days because I had major big size kidney stones and stuff.
You need to claim that.
And I did. I told them all of this went to the roll call. So once I go see this provider, whoever they send me and get me connected with, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go through all of everything again. And I got to get more X-rays on my knees because 5 years ago they told me I needed partial replacements, and I haven't done it yet. Of course, I was 40 at the time, or 41 at the time, and I'm like, I shouldn't need partial knee replacements at an early stage in life, and so I definitely know I'm going to have to go in and get partial knee replacements done. And
well, if you've been to physical therapy for those, write that down. I mean, if you've had, and just if any veteran out there has been increasing their medications, whatever that medication is for high blood pressure or pain control, whatever that medication is, I put that down as a progressive progression of that disease. It is being more difficult to treat. I'm having to titrate up, or your primary care is titrating up on your medications. So I just saw a question pop up.
Well, he said Camp Lejeune water can cause kidney stones.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, if you all had high blood pressure and then now you're on 3 high blood pressure medicines instead of 1, or they keep going up and up and up on your other things, that's a progression. So tell them it's worsening, it's progressively worsening, that you went to have injections in your knees or wherever, orthopedics, any kind of injections, any kind of physical therapy, anything at all for treatment, write it down. Try to remember it before. And when I say prepare it, that's what I'm talking about. Prepare going in is write down every single thing, because I do get some veterans that come in, they didn't know what to claim, how to claim, they didn't know what to expect coming in to see me, and I ask questions, and 10 out of 10 questions they're like, oh gosh, I don't know. Oh gosh, I don't know. Which is a little more difficult. I have to sit there and pull it out, but but it happens. I mean, some guys are in, guys and all service members, of course. When I say guys, I mean military.
Right.
So it is, they're out in a combat field. I've had members come in and they have been out in combat and have combat wounds, and they did not, in combat, you can't go to, let me go get an x-ray and go over here. They just pack something and stop the bleeding and you go on type thing. So as much as they can remember.
Yeah. So for me, I have, like I said, my short-term memory loss is not very good, because I mean, my wife can tell me something today and I'll forget about it, and then she'll ask me about a week later, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? We didn't talk about that." And then there's some things like that I don't remember. From like when I was in the military. Like I couldn't tell you. Like I could tell you who was driving the Humvee, but I couldn't tell you who was in the Humvee with me. Like who was sitting right across from me.
Right.
And it's just like, and
that's fine.
And I try to figure that out, and it's just, and then dates. I'm horrible with dates, like remembering things. But I do have, like after I got out of the military, I did go to see, knee doctors, and I did go see a pulmonologist because I was breathing at like 80% instead of 100%. There was a black spot on my lungs that they didn't know what it was from or where it was. Right. So I did like six CT scans in like a 6-month period because I was trying to get on the Louisville Metro Police Department. And they're like, well, we can't let you go unless you're clear with your lungs. Right. And so they, I had all that done. I never had my head scanned. I should have, but I didn't.
For more than one reason.
Well, I played football from Little League all the way to high school.
He's such a man, Monica.
and then I joined the Marine Corps, and then I used to run my head into lockers in high school, so that probably was not good for my head either.
That explains a lot.
Shut your pie hole. You're fired.
Yes, I get it.
No, but did you have any of these issues that you can remember going in on your entrance exam? No, probably not. No. So, and that's the other thing. When I have, even on an exit exam, and this would be my advice to any, veterans that or any active duty that are about to get out, is start documenting those things now. Go be seen, go to the clinic, go get imaged, if you can go, like I said at the beginning, this is not the time to embrace this, embrace the suck. It is just you go out there, and it's not complaining. It is literally, it's a clinical matter that needs to be addressed. So we have guys come in that will have, nothing on their entrance exam, and they're totally healthy, and they came in totally healthy, and now they have all these problems. So, and it's my job to medically, kind of clinically, correlate those two.
So you're talking before they are discharged, go in and get these things, get these scans, get them on the record.
100%.
If they can, a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, see, in '97, we weren't told to do this.
No.
Now, so the VA now, I think if a lot of service members now, by the time they get their EAS date, they're already set up and ready to go in the VA. Now, of course, in 97 to 2001, if you went to the sick call, they called you the sick call bandit, and you got branded that, especially if you went all the time. So, like for me, I was infantry. If I went to sick call, it was because I needed to go to sick call, because I think I had kidney stones once when I was in the military. So that is definitely documented because I stayed at the Camp Lejeune Naval Hospital. But I didn't go for, like, when I broke my thumb, I just set it and went on, put a splint on it, went on my way. When I, busted my tooth on a naval ship because I bumped my head and it chipped my tooth, that's on there. And but we were told, don't go to sick call unless you need to go to sick call, because you didn't want you didn't want to have anything that would stop you from deploying. You didn't want to stop you from being mission ready. So it was kind of ingrained or instilled in us that you didn't want to go to BAS because you didn't want to have that stuff stopping you from doing a deployment or whatnot. So
and we heard that all the time. I hear that constantly, that they did not want to complain. They did not want to go in somewhere because they would lose some kind of status or pay or whatever.
Yeah. And I tell people now, and I'm glad you said that, because I tell people all the time now, hey, if you're in the military, if you're on active duty service and you break a finger, or you got migraines, or you got this or this, make sure you report it, because you need that in your record by the time you EAS. That way you're set up and ready to go in the VA, and you can get your rating from day one.
And they would also, and it helps expedite the process when you get out, as far as having, even if they get out and they're not supposed to get out for another year, at least we have a baseline. At least we have something to compare it to. And then when you come see me, I don't have to order something because it's been done within a year or so.
Right.
So
no, that's awesome. I mean, that's good. That's a great piece of advice, telling people that, hey, you need to go your last year, go in, get all your medical stuff lined out, ready to go. Make sure you keep I don't want to say journal, because, military guys and gals are pretty macho. You want to make sure you have all this stuff written down, dates. I know my friend Ty Cobb, he was on here a little bit ago. He's very meticulous when it comes to dates and stuff. And
good.
He had everything,
I'm medical, so I want everything documented.
Yeah.
So if you're Marine, just put it in your coloring book, write a date on the pages.
Whatever you have to write it with, yes, definitely.
If you don't have a diary, use that.
Yeah, your little green monster, those little green books that we had while I was in the military, just write it down in there. On this date, I fell out of the back of a Humvee and was knocked out for 3 minutes. Didn't report it because why you didn't report it. And make sure you write the names of the people in the Humvee with you. Or if you were going down range and a mortar went off within 20 feet of you, that shockwave could fuck with you too. So
and tinnitus is different than hearing loss, so you can claim both of them. And I have had guys come in and say they were on a name just went out of my head. I mean, they're on a ship with jets going off.
Aircraft carrier.
Yeah, aircraft carrier. Thank you. My husband's going to kill me. Anyway, so aircraft carrier, and they go flying by, and it popped a guy's eardrum.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
literally, it was. So yeah, tinnitus is one thing. Definitely claim that. Hearing loss is another thing. Definitely claim that. When I say you can claim every tiny little thing, claim it and let us figure it out. We will put it under something. And I've had guys that come home and say, in Iraq or Afghanistan, they had to take all these medications for malaria and all this kind of stuff. And now they have a ton of GI problems. Stuff like that. That matters. That counts.
See, I didn't even think about that because, like, when I was in, they made us get the anthrax virus. We had to take the stuff from malaria because we went to Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I didn't even think about that. I mean, so I'm gonna have to revamp that or add that into when I go see this provider, whoever I'm going to see, whenever I see him. So
yeah, and any pilots out there, we had a lot of pilots come in that when they have a lot of possible cancers because they're sitting in a cockpit right next to the sun.
Oh yeah,
and that cockpit just becomes a sauna of radiation.
Oven, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Willis, you're probably going to see multiple providers. It's not just going to be one. So, I mean, you have some time to adjust and, things that you'll be reminded of because you talk about one thing to one provider and it's like, oh, I forgot about that. Like things to be brought up, especially if you're going into the mental health side of it. Like that's.
Yeah. Well,
and appeal it. If you do not get the rating that you think you deserve, because they didn't tell the story right, or they got, whatever facts were left off because you didn't remember them, whatever the reason, you get it back, appeal it. You can reclaim stuff, but appeal it so it will back pay for one. But it will, just appeal things. And then some you can't reapply for like a year, but some you can right away.
So question, in your opinion of that, I know you're not like, you don't do anything with the ratings and stuff, but when you're saying like these veterans need to appeal something like that, I don't know how involved with this you are. Is it better for them to just go straight through the VA for an appeal, or should they be talking to like a VA attorney? Because I don't know. It's one of those wishy-washy.
I would say go into the VA and have your VSO have those service providers. They're going to walk you through how to appeal it. Why you're appealing, that new information came up, or that it has gotten worse, meaning the flares are now every day instead of once a month or whatever. That there's new clinical, evidence, data, things like that we can put in a new claim. It went from a mild radiculopathy, like a radiating nerve pain, or a neuropathy, things like that, from back, lower back pains or hip pains. And now you have shooting pains down your leg. And that's new. Definitely appeal it and put it back in there and just reclaim it. So I'm not saying that they're just be careful if people out there are going to, attorneys, things like that. Because some of it is not needed, and I don't want them to take your money.
That's why I was wondering what your opinion on that was. So, like the resources for all of that, even the appeals, is within the VA. Like, there's really no need to go and put money into something
unless you just absolutely have no idea, or you're not next to a VA, or you can't. Some people will. I like the ones that are they charge one flat fee. I will help you fill out all this stuff. I will help you do all this. Here's a flat fee. I just take off right at the top and the rest is yours. Some of them take it in kind of perpetuity. They'll like take it forever. Just be careful of what you're signing.
Yeah, definitely. So. I think a flat rate fee would be sufficient enough. And if they're trying to take it in like payments with, you're gaining interest and stuff on that. Yeah, you got to definitely be careful what you're signing there. But
and some of it's totally worth it. So, I mean, you just have to be careful. So I'm not either way, just be careful what you're asking them to do. And
But I mean, start, of course, like I would say anybody should start within the VA, like start.
Yeah. Well, and the VA now has just gotten so much more innovative, the technology, the modernization of our EHR, the EMR, our electrical medical records, everything is so streamlined now and so much quicker that sometimes it's just not needed. You can go in or call and they can walk you through it right then.
Right. Right.
So, or get a family member that can help you, those type thing if you're an older veteran. And
yeah.
I have veterans call me, email me, text me all the time, asking for help. So I have no problem with answering as much as I can. But I like them to go into the VA, especially here in Pensacola and like big VAs that we have around, because they have so many other services that some veterans have no idea that they can get with their loans and their housing and their taxes and just a ton of stuff that they qualify for. So they could be saving a ton of money just on their taxes on their land or house or whatever. So I like them to go into the VA and kind of get, and I do not work for the VA. I'm a provider for the VA, a contractor. So I'm not, I want to sell everybody on the VA, but I'm not, pushing them.
You're a veteran supporter, and you want those veterans taken care of, like regardless of what you do or working with the VA. You are an advocate of those veterans. So
100%. I'm like, getting my husband in there, and he's been in there, and we love our VA here in Pensacola. There are a ton of great VAs around Florida, I know, and around our area. So
heck yeah. So that's a good segment because you said that they can email you if they wanted to. Yep. So that's a good segment. So we are going to set up a new segment within HomeFront Sitrep. If you want to ask Monica any question about VA disability claims and stuff like that, I just put the email in chat. It's askmonica0@gmail.com. Monica has access to that email. I have access. Candace has access to that email. If you want to ask Monica a question, send an email to askmonica0@gmail.com. What we're going to do with that is if it's a question that Monica wants to answer live on the show here, she'll pop in and she'll answer it then, on there, or she'll email you back and we can bring it up and talk about it on the screen here. So if you got questions, reach out to askmonica0@gmail.com and she'll be able to answer those questions. Now, Monica, we haven't even really touched about your podcast that you do. So tell us a little bit about your podcast and why you started your podcast.
Well, I actually started it just for fun. Everything I do kind of in my work life is, clinical and medical. And so I started it, right in 2020, right in the COVID. And I was working in a hospital we were, head high in COVID. So it was just fun. And I have had, a sheriff on there, pastors, chefs, a lot of political people, a lot of veterans, commanders of bases. My husband has had some Marines on there, and they're just sitting one-on-one talking, Marine Corps shit. So it's so it can be, and he's usually my co-host on everything. So it just on every show. There's a few shows he hadn't made it to that he's like, you can take that one, but it is. So he's usually the co-host on most of my shows, and it just got picked up by Reese Across America Radio. I'm on their Friday night lineup. So I am all my, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with Pensacola, Northwest Florida area at all. If I have some listeners out there, Crestview, Florida is booming with 7th Group, Eglin Air Force Base, the Hurlburt Field. We have Duke Field, a ton of, I'm on the Military Affairs Committee with Crestview Chamber of Commerce and the Pensacola Chamber of Commerce, the West Florida Defense Coalition. So I do a lot of veterans and veterans issues, and had somebody from the VA talking about what we're talking about today. So it just runs the gamut. Literally, it's whoever I want to talk to about whatever we want to talk about.
Oh, that's awesome. So the Reese Across America, those are not live shows; those are pre-recorded, correct?
Correct.
That's awesome. So I know Tab Bartley; she's one of our Tip of the Spear co-hosts. So we do a monthly Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable at the end of the month. It's usually the last Wednesday of the month. It's HomeFront Sitrep, Triple Threat Vets, Misfit Nation, the Decision Hour, I Am Pitts. The oath we took in conversations with a vet, and then we're getting ready to add every day's a Saturday, which is Brian Roof. We're getting ready to add Travis from what is his podcast name? I can't even think of it right off the top of my head. I had it, but we're adding more veteran podcasters to the tip of the spear, and the whole emphasis of the tip of the spear is it's something different from our podcast that we host. Right. So we basically talk about what's going on globally. It could be religion, could be politics, it could be whatever. And we also talk about what's going on within the military community and veteran communities as well. And then we talk about things that are going, locally within our area that we're located. So like Candace and I are in Kentucky. 3/4 of the triple threat vets are in Texas, and we got one down in Pensacola, down where you're at. Al's down there. And then Rich is in Tennessee, and then Tab's in outside of DC, and Carol Lee's in Tennessee as well. So, we're all in different parts of the country. And
oh, that's cool. How many podcasts are you on? Oh my God. You named quite a few.
So HomeFront Sitrep is my main podcast. You're muted, Candace.
Yeah, I just realized that when it said Mike is muted.
Yes. So HomeFront Sitrep is my podcast. Tip of the Spear is one that I created, and it's grown. Like it started with 5 podcast hosts, and then we added, 2 more, and then we're getting ready to add some more. And that's just, like I said, that's the last Wednesday of every month. And then Heroes Media Group is somebody that, I'm a proud member of. Adam and his team, they're amazing what they do for veterans, not just veteran podcasters, but veteran authors and stuff like that. They do all kinds of things. And then Military United Podcast Streams is another collective of podcasts, but we each have our own show. So
cool. My husband's writing a book, actually. He's because he was prior enlisted, like I said, and then retired at G2 of 2nd Marine Division in Lejeune. But then he was headhunted at the time from corporations that wanted kind of military, Marine Corps officer type, and so he went into 2 big corporations, and he's writing a book about the difference in the leadership of in the in service versus civilian leadership. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to hear some of his stories, and so
I'm very partial to 2nd Marine Division because I was a second Mar Div Marine. I was with 2-8, 1-8. Cool. When did he retire?
Gosh, 1-8. You were probably under I can't remember his name now. Colonel. My husband would know. He was our neighbor down a couple of houses.
So I got out in 2001 the first time, and then 2004 the second time.
2000. Oh, he got out. He retired 2011, 2010.
So y'all were y'all at Lejeune the whole time?
Well, he was. We were in Hawaii twice.
Okay.
And like 4 years on one side of the island, 3 or 4 years on the other side of the island. He was at Camp Smith, kind of a joint service. We were at Marine Corps. Back then, it was Marine Corps Air Station, Hawaii, and now it's Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. But so we were out there quite a while ago. Then he was down South Florida, the SOCOM.
Yeah, SOCOM. Yeah.
And then we went to Lejeune and retired from there after about 4 years. So
nice. So yeah, you might not have been there when I was there.
Well, he was also up at NSA for a while. He did SIG Intel, so he was NSA for quite a few years and company commander up there. And that's when I went to Hopkins. That's while we were stationed up there.
So what you're saying is we need to have your husband on as a guest, is what you're saying.
He would love it, I'm sure. He would. He's actually, like I said, he co-hosts my podcast. He's taken the lead on a few of them. I just let them go, and I have two veterans coming up.
Yeah, Willis is like, can you put a good word in for me, Monica?
Candace, you got homework. You need to get Monica in touch with Monica and get her husband scheduled.
I'm going to ask you right now. I'll send you some available dates.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send
it to askmonica0@gmail.com.
Good. Yeah, send it in a writing so I can show him and say, see, I told you they want you on.
Yeah, we definitely want him on the show. That'd be awesome.
I mean, like this little crown-eating podcaster would like to have you on as a guest.
I'll even share my crowns with him.
He's got confetti and pastel and neon. He's got all kinds of them.
Yeah, I got them all.
Yeah. No, he was Mortarman. He was Mortarman as enlisted, and then SIG Intel 2602 or So for the rest of the time. So
Heck yeah.
he did a lot of communication stuff and SIG intel type stuff. And anyway, Iraq a couple times, and they were going to send him back, and then he's like, time to retire.
Yeah, time to retire.
You know, that could be a joint, like you and him on there, like have the veteran and the spouse on there and do like that type of thing as well.
Yeah, and if anybody has spouse questions, definitely. I know you probably have a lot of spouses that, I was a key wife years ago. I don't even know if they have a key wife anymore, but I definitely bat a lot of questions from wives coming in. And I am very huge proponent on, if the spouse is deployed, then you are at home and invest in yourself. Go back to school, do something to invest in yourself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we had Michelle Black on not too long ago. Her husband was a Green Beret, and she's a Gold Star widow. He died in the ambush in Nigeria outside of Tonga. And hearing the stories, and I know Jason talked about it last night, is Gold Star families sometimes get shunned in the veteran community. That shouldn't happen because, unfortunately, the service member paid the ultimate sacrifice. That's why they're Gold Star families.
Right.
And I just don't see why people would try to treat Gold Star families different than they would treat a veteran or a service member. It just so with you being a key wife, you were the one, like if the unit was deployed, you would get all the wives together and make sure the morale stays good within the family units of the unit. Because I do remember when I deployed, we had the colonel, usually the battalion commander's wife would be the key wife, and then your platoon commanders would be underneath of them. The wives, the wives of the platoon commanders would be underneath of them, and that's how the unit worked with the key wives, which was I thought, I don't know if they still have it like you. I don't know if they still have it or not. But,
I think they call it something else, but it is the same concept.
Yeah, because especially when her husband got in the ambush and wound up dying. I think it happened at 7:30, and at 9:30 she had some service members knocking on the door. And so it happened really fast. Of course, this day and age, everybody's got a cell phone or GoPro or something like that, and shit gets uploaded to the internet faster than wildfire some days. So you ladies, as the key wives, were always the first step, pretty much whenever it service member passed away in the line of duty. You guys were always the first.
It was Red Cross communications type thing, but it was back then, and I'm sure it is still now too. Even though you have, back then we didn't have Facebook, and 30 years ago, it was. So I was literally had a stack of resources of papers. They were not on my phone type thing. But it is. I was just the resource for resources. That's it.
Yeah. And no, but you guys played you ladies played a vital part in all of that, especially taking care of the families when the spouses were deployed, whether male or female. You always were there to help take care of the families, and that was.
And I hope that's still the case as far as young, because looking back now, I was not. Now I'm almost 62, but or 60 also, not 62. I'm 50. I'm 57, but 30 years ago, in my 20s.
I'm so confused.
I know, sorry. But
I wouldn't even guess you that. Like, you're looking good. You're looking good, girl.
Thank you. So no, we've been married 35 years, but it's 30 plus years ago. A lot of these young wives were extremely young, 18, 19, 20-year-olds having babies. And so they did need a lot of support. And they still, I'm sure there are some that are like that need that support. So, if they can't find support where they are, reach out to me. I'll find you some support, because it's needed, definitely.
Heck yeah. No, I love it. So if you guys out there, if you're watching, whether you're watching on Heroes Media Group or Military Podcast Streams or HomeFront Sitrep or LinkedIn or just wherever you're watching. If you got any questions for Monica regarding VA disability claims, you can email her at askmonica0@gmail.com. I'm going to throw it right there at the bottom of the screen. askmonica0@gmail.com. And she has access to that. Candace and I both have access. We're going to start a segment on HomeFront Sitrep where if you have questions, Monica, it will either come on screen and answer the question on screen, or she will email you back and we'll go that route. And if it's one of the questions where we want to bring it up onto the screen and give that information out, because it's probably good information for everybody that's watching, me and Candace will talk about it on one of our shows coming up after that. So
yeah. Now that you threw that back on there, Monica, other than VA claims, what is it okay for people to ask questions about? What are the resources and things that you can give right now? And because you also mentioned spouses.
Yeah, and the spouses actually, go to the VA, and there are a ton of spouses things now in the Pensacola VA. I know that spouses can go to yoga classes and lifestyle wellness and medicine classes, things like that are available to the spouse when it's if they're active duty and deployed, or if they're a veteran, things like that. But I encourage everybody to go in to their VA, or at least call them. But here, when you walk in the Pensacola VA, there's literally an office there, and they tell you all about what you can get for education. I teach at a University of West Florida that is A+ rating for veterans coming in. So meaning they help them get their classes and the payments for their VA education loans, things like that. So, you are entitled, and you deserve everything that the VA is setting up for you to have. And some just don't know it's there. So go in and ask them, like I said, about the taxes, the loans, the education, anything about, and if you are in Pensacola, the VA has things every few months with a lot of resources that are camped out at the VA to answer all your questions at one time. And last month they had one, and there must have been 800 people there. I mean, veterans from everywhere come to get all their questions answered and help fill out paperwork. And so they offer a lot of life insurance policies, tax programs, you name it. So check out your VA.
Yeah, they have those at the Zorn Avenue Hospital. They have workshops, either monthly or quarterly. I forget how they do it, but they invite veterans from all over the state of Kentucky to come. And if you got questions, that's the place to ask. And
awesome,
which is cool. I mean, I'd love to do a live broadcast from there, just so people can see what goes on at the VA hospital and stuff like that. So
we're actually working on it for if anybody on here knows Jason Boatwright, me and him have been talking about me going out there and doing kind of a, on the location shoot at the VA while they're doing stuff like that.
That's awesome. Now, I served with the Boatwright, but I can't remember his first name.
Jason.
Was he a Marine?
Navy.
Navy. All right. Yeah. I think mine was Adam Boatwright, and he was from down around your area, somewhere around the Panhandle. He might have been in southern Alabama or Mississippi, somewhere down there.
Well, this Jason too, why me and him originally met, he used to be the legislative aide for Matt Gaetz, the representative for Florida here in our district. Nice. So I would tap him on the shoulder, and I would just see him places, anywhere there's legislation type stuff going on. I try to be there, and he's there. So that's where we originally met, and now he's with the VA. So
nice.
He's a great resource.
Heck yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we let you go?
No, this was like I said, honor and a privilege to do what I do and take care of veterans. And I will definitely kind of turn the screws to get my husband on here. He would talk about all kinds of leadership in civilian world, Marine Corps world, things like that. So yeah, he'd probably love it. But
it'll be a good time. It was great having you on today.
Y'all are amazing. This is fun. It was very fun.
We look forward to working more with you with this Ask Monica segment.
Yeah, definitely.
We're loving it.
I'll keep tabs on it.
I'm super excited about the whole Ask Monica segment that we, when we first started talking about it, I didn't know how we would integrate that into the show. But with what we do, highlighting all these different veteran service organizations out there, I think Ask Monica, VA questions, VA disability questions, I think it fits right into what our focus is. So I'm super excited about it. I'm thankful that you agreed to do that for us. It's amazing. I can't wait to see where our partnership grows from here. And if you need anything, help from me, like getting in touch with Adam or whatever you need, I feel free to reach out to me. You got my phone number. I got your phone number. And,
Yep.
I will send a text message with Candace, so Candace will have your phone number. You can have Candace's as well.
Perfect.
But yeah, so if you're out there and you got questions, I'm going to put it back up on the screen again. It's askmonica0@gmail.com. If you have any questions about VA disability or anything like that, reach out to Monica, and we'll either talk about it on screen here, or Monica will come on here and answer the question on one of our next shows coming up, whether it be on a Sunday or a Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, reach out to Monica. And Monica, I want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. You were an amazing guest, and you had a lot of information out there, and you kept it, you marined it down for us. Let's put that. You marined it down for us. That's one of my mottos. I got a co-branded shirt with same flag, same oath, and
That's cute. I love it.
It says marine it down on. So you might have to order that for your husband.
It's written in red crayon.
It's written in red crayon too. So
cute.
It's
Father's Day's coming up. That'd be a good one.
It is.
Yeah. So you can go to sameflagsameoath.com, and up in the upper on the thing it'll say co-branded shirts. Click on that. Scroll down till you find HomeFront Sitrep shirt that says marine it down on it. It's got HomeFront.
What was it? Same what?
Same flag, same oath.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sameflagsameoath.com.
Thank you.
And the good thing about that shirt is it is a co-branded shirt with Got Your Six culture. 25% of all sales of that shirt will come to HomeFront Sitrep at the end of the year. Me and Candace have decided that we were going to donate that check, however much it be, whether it be $100 or $1,000. All the money we're going to take all the veteran service organizations from the state of Kentucky and put it in a randomizer and spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on that check is going to get donated straight to them. So super excited
Very
about
cool.
it. So, but yes, I want to thank you again for coming on, spending this hour and a half with us. And
Oh gosh, this flew by. Y'all are great.
it flew by. I mean, it was a great episode. I mean, when you got great information coming from both sides, it just flows pretty easily. So,
Yeah. I know it's a lot, so if anybody has a question on what I said, just drop me a line.
yeah, you can email Monica at askmonica0@gmail.com. But
Thank
Miss
y'all
Monica,
so much.
thank you. You have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank y'all.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye. How cool was that, Candace?
It was good. Sorry, my screen went a little crazy. I had a dog stuck on my power cord.
Well, you shouldn't have no dogs in your lap while you're on the podcast.
It wasn't in my lap. They walked past. It wasn't even in my lap.
I gotcha. So
No, that was great information. I'm looking forward to the Ask Monica. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to see what kind of questions come through and what kind of information we get back from her. I think that's
definitely.
super
I mean,
cool.
it's great feedback because look, literally, I'm navigating the VA disability process right now, and I know I'm going to have questions, so I'm going to send Monica questions.
But how much did you just learn? Like in the past, how much did you just learn?
I learned a shit ton.
Yeah.
And when she told me what she did, it was a no-brainer for me to have her on the show because, like I said, I'm going through the process right now, and I got questions all the time about things and how the process is going to go, and I get information from here, bits of information from here and bits of information from here, and she's actually one that actually helps the veterans before to get everything set up, ready to go. I mean, that's amazing. So like I said, if you're out there and you got a question about VA disabilities, reach out to Monica at askmonica0@gmail.com. And she will either answer back or she'll email you back and say, hey, We're going to talk about this on the show that's coming up on Sunday or Monday at 7 p.m. We are broadcasting live right now on Heroes Media Group. We are broadcasting live on Military United podcast streams. We're also broadcasting on HomeFront Sitrep podcast on Facebook. We are live streaming on our YouTube channel at HomeFront Sitrep, and also our LinkedIn page, which is my personal page on LinkedIn. It's David Willis Jr. on LinkedIn. So we're broadcasting live right now on 5 channels. We had my brother Sam Deeds, Gunny, retired. He is in Tokyo right now. He jumped on at the beginning of the show and was watching for a little while. That's awesome, because that's another little tick on our view status where we're been viewed at. I love it.
I know. I want to go to Tokyo.
Dude, he's got the job for that. So he's with a parachute company. I don't want to butcher their name, but they parachute into sports stadiums with the American flag, the POW flag, and stuff like that. So he gets to travel all over the country with that, and it's awesome. Here he is. He served his country. He got medically retired because he got blew up by a couple IEDs. And here he is traveling the country.
Jumping on airplanes.
Well, no, so he's ground crew. He can't jump out of airplanes.
Okay. I was gonna say, Jesus.
Yeah, he's ground crew. He's helps them, keeps everything lined up, ready to go and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty cool.
But no, it's still pretty cool that he came on. Doc jumped on, Triple Threat Vets jumped on, Brian Roof. Everybody that comes on and watches us every Sunday and Monday, thank you guys for coming on and watching us. This is my therapy.
I love our people.
Yeah, we love all of our people that come on.
Don't forget James. And James too. He'll get mad.
Pumpkin came on. He came on, and so last year around Christmas time, we were approached about helping veteran families in need around Christmas time.
Hi, yes, I want to know about this. I got tagged on it today, so now I want to know, what is it?
So last year, we put a post out there, or I put a post out after being, reached to. We found a veteran that was in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. He adopted, or not really adopted, but he was the caretaker of 3 nephews and a niece. So they were struggling on making things for Christmas. So we put post out there, and we had a lot of donations from all over the place. And we were able to go and surprise this veteran and his wife and the children. And we didn't make a big whoop-de-doo with, the news channels or anything like that, because that's not what we did it for. We did it for the veteran. So we actually had the city of Shepherdsville police chief and several officers. We had 2 fire trucks. We had the Warrior Rounds trailer, and we had a whole caravan. Well, James had his little side-by-side, his little Razor that we had Santa on it. We had the Grinch on it. We had Cindy Lou Who on it. They were going down Flat Lick Road and pulled in this guy's neighborhood, and they were being chased by the police officers. And it was a pretty cool thing. And so this year we're already planning. So we're going to not only do Bullitt County, but we're going to do the counties surrounding Bullitt County as well. Jefferson, Hardin, Oldham, Shelby, the counties around. We're going to find 2 representatives in each state or each county. And then we're going to locate veteran families in need. It could be 1, or it could be 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to collect donations from wherever we get donations from, whoever wants to donate. And you can reach out to @James Thornton on Facebook. You can reach out to James Thornton. And once we get everything said and done and everything's collected, whether we get it from Toys from Tots or wherever.
I was going to say, I'm going to call out Cletus.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cletus gave us toys last year.
Late, but we're going to go ahead and get this going.
So we're going to, like I said, we're going to find 2 families from each county, If this goes over really well, we're planning on expanding next year. But yeah, so Operation Veteran Santa is what we're calling it. Operation Veteran Santa. If you're in the surrounding counties of Bullitt County, so Jefferson, Hardin, Nelson, Shelby, Odom, Spencer County. Yeah, Spencer County. If you're in those counties and you know a veteran family in need that are struggling to make ends meet for Christmas, reach out to at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com. You can reach out to us. We can get you in contact with the person, the point of contact for that county, and we can get this ball rolling, because we don't want to wait till the last minute to get all this rolling. That's kind of why we're starting now in what is this, May. That way we can start getting all donations and everything in lined out and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So yeah, we got that coming up. Our next big event is coming up July 25th through the 30th in the city of Shepherdsville. We got the Vietnam Traveling Wall with the Cost of Freedom tribute coming July 25th through the 30th.
But it starts on the 24th.
Well, that's the escort, and we had to
be part of it.
Well, we can't. We had to minimize the traffic.
Still a big part of it.
It is a big part of it. So July 24th, the escort will go from Mount Washington to Shepherdsville. Unfortunately, we had to scale it from 400 cars down to like 20 cars, 25 cars.
Whoa, yeah. That got even worse.
Yeah.
So on July 24th, everybody just be at Shepherdsville Park.
Yeah,
period.
Shepherdsville Park.
It doesn't even matter. Like, just be there.
Yeah. So be Shepherdsville Park.
Traffic's going to be on 44 regardless. It just might not be in a parade.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you want to come, and there's several little parking lots and stuff down 44. If you want to line the side of 44 and wave flags as the escort's going by, you're more than welcome to do that.
No, my goal at this point is they're not part of the escort, but I'm going to invite them to follow, get in front of us. That traffic's still going to be on 44 Kentucky Transport. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, they can't.
Like that's not our fault.
Yeah. So they shut down. So we try to think of a different avenue so we wouldn't shut down 65 with the off ramps. So
I thought we had a solution to that.
Well, we had one going down Bell's Mill and then going up Preston to the park, and they shot that down. Then they talked about going down Barstown Road to 480 and coming up down 480 to Shepherdsville Park.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, so they shot that down too. So now the escort's about 25
Who do we need to talk to? Who do we need to talk to?
Kentucky Transportation.
But everybody needs to put something out there.
Yeah, so they shot it down because they didn't want to deal with the traffic on 44.
They don't have to deal with it.
Well, I guess they do. So I don't know, but yeah, and then Hero Stock. Ladies and gents, if you haven't checked out Hero Stock, you need to go Google Hero Stock. It started out as Vet Stock and now Hero Stock. They put concerts on. Right now, I think they've been invited to come to 28 states. So definitely check out Hero Stock. We're planning a Hero Stock concert here in Kentucky. I'm not going to give the date out just yet, but I will tell you one of the headliners will be Bubba Wesley. My boy Bubba Wesley. Right now, he's in Mexico.
Hold on. You already got that confirmed?
What?
That.
He'll be the headliner? Yeah.
Yeah, because you just name dropped.
Yeah, I name dropped Bubba Wesley. Yes, he's
already
confirmed. He's already confirmed.
Okay.
We just need to get all the other details lined out. He's already said yes, I'll be here. If everything lines out, he said he will be here.
Okay.
So he's got a #1 song right now in Texas. Mm-hmm. So if you know anything about music, you got the Nashville scene, you got the Texas scene, and then you got the rest of the country. So he's got a #1 song in Texas called Falling Star right now. So go check him out. He's streaming on all the streaming platforms that you can get music on. I had a brain fart. Your Amazon Music, your Spotify. Go stream his music because he's got some cool ass songs. He's got one song that the title is "I Can't Get You Off My Mind," and I'm not going to go into the rest of it. Just go Google Bubba Wesley, "I Can't Get You Off My Mind" if you want a good laugh, because that's a great song.
I would say they're not all exactly G-rated.
That one's definitely not G-rated.
No.
No, because it's a good old 69 position. You know what I mean? But yeah, my boy Bubba Wesley, dude, he's doing an amazing thing out there in Texas. As a matter of fact, I spoke to him earlier via text message, and he said that he was in.
You know why? You know why, right? Because like Texas is blocked off from certain websites right now, so they're gonna start doing it in music.
Yeah. But no, Bubba Wesley's awesome. I had a chance to see him live in person in Houston at the Houston Rodeo when I went out to see Matt and Becky with Triple Threat Vets podcast, and got your six culture, same flag, same oath.com. Like I said, we do have our Marine It Down shirt on same flag, same oath.com underneath the co-branded shirt. If you're want to support veteran service organizations and small veteran business owners, go get that shirt. Take a picture of you wearing that shirt, and tag HomeFront Sitrep in it. At the end of the year, same flag, same oath.com is going to send us a check for 25% of all sales. Candace and I, we've decided that we're going to take all the veteran service organizations from the state of Kentucky, put them in a randomizer, and then whoever it lands on, we're going to donate that check to. So
that, or if I get enough votes, I'll put Willis on a wheel and we'll spin him.
Yeah, that might happen.
That could happen. I bet your wife would be for it.
Yeah, she might go for it. I don't know, but I wouldn't. I might even wear a pink tutu while we're spinning the wheel. Shut your mouth. You're fired.
I didn't even say it. You did.
I know I did. I always put my foot in my mouth. Let me tell you.
Yep. That was all you.
Tonight was a great episode with Monica Sanford, and what she's doing for. I mean, she's just a badass. If you don't know, dude, she's a badass. She's a doctor of nursing, an acute care nurse practitioner.
She's on 2 different chamber of commerce. Yeah,
with specialty practice in cardiology and hospital. Here, why am I reading it here? I can do this. So yeah, she's
been married to a Marine for 30 something years. Like,
yeah, she's married to
enough.
a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps for 35 years. Bro, she's a badass. She does a podcast for fun. Her and her husband does the podcast, and we're gonna try to get him on the show to talk about his military service, being started out as enlisted, and then worked his way up. Now he retired as a lieutenant colonel. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to just talk about things that he's noticed since he's got out of the military, the leadership in the Marine Corps compared to the military or leadership in the corporate side of things. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about that as well. And we got some great shows lined up. I mean, some really, really fantastic shows lined up. So Mother's Day, we will not have a show on Mother's Day because it's Mama's Day, and everybody. My wife is amazing. She's an amazing mother. Then my mama is my hero. I grew up in the house where it was just my mom and 4 children until my brother passed away at the age of 10. And for my mom to keep trucking after my brother passed away, to put food on the table, to a roof over our head, she's my hero. She's the only parent I have left. My dad passed away back in September or August, actually. So mama's what's left. So yeah, it's one of those things. And then May 13th, we got Guitars for Vets, which is Groove and Tom. Simply amazing. Phenomenal. Let's put it that way. It's phenomenal. Then on the 19th, we got our boy Christopher Raymond with Veteran Hundo Club.
I'm excited.
And then on the 20th, we got Two Wolf Foundation. Super excited about that one. And then on the 26th, Sunday the 26th, we got Beyond Boundaries. Go to Google and type in Beyond Boundaries. It's in Virginia. And what they do there, they take not just veterans, but people with other abilities. So people with disabilities, but they say other abilities. They get them out in nature, whether it be rock climbing, kayaking, whitewater rafting. And we're looking at, people with Down syndrome. We're looking at people with, autistic, with other abilities. They get them out in nature. And then on Monday, May 27th, we got Mr. Nick Buss with Leaf Homes. He started the Veterans ERG with Leaf Homes. They didn't have one. He started one. And now he's also started 2 501c3s. And then rounding out the month of May on the 29th, we got our Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable, which I said a while ago. Let's see if I got that here. I don't have it on this one. But our Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable is HomeFront Sitrep. It's Triple Threat Vets, I Am Pits, The Decision Hour, Misfit Nation, The Oath We Took, Conversations with the Vet. Now we're adding every day's a Saturday. We're working on getting Travis on board. And then, hell, we might even bring Monica on if she wants to do that as well. And the whole purpose of the Tip of the Spear is we talk about things that are going on globally. And then we're talking about things that are going on nationally within the military and veteran community. And so I'm super excited about how that, it's pretty much got a mind of its own, pretty much. So, but no, that ends out our month of May. If you're wanting to be a guest on our show, reach out to us at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com. And we will get you scheduled. And what we're looking for is veteran service organizations, the mom and pops that are out there doing things for the right reason, and they haven't lost focus of what they started the organization for. That's what we're looking for. So, and then so that was all of May. And June is pretty much booked as well. We got June 2nd. We got.
We're already booking into July.
Yeah, we're already booking July and August.
It's August as well.
Yeah, we still have dates left in July, and we got several dates in August. Then we have Jeremy Stallnacker, who is a Marine. He is one of the co-founders of Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation. So he's an author, all around bad. Well, he's a pastor, so I'm not going to cuss.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be on our, P's and Q's.
When is that one? I might be sick.
That's June 2nd.
Well, maybe not.
And then June 3rd, we got Jason Downing, Marine Corps captain. He also wrote a book. He's an author. Oscar Mike Radio is Travis. So Oscar Mike Radio on June 9th, June 10th. What the heck is happening here? My calendar just. June 10th, we have Michael Sergru. He's an author. He wrote a couple books. First responder, military veteran. Got a hell of a story. Father's Day, we don't have an episode for Father's Day. Then on the 17th, we got your friend, Mr. Jeff Nelligan. He wrote the book.
Oh, I need to get a hold of him. I just got my book.
4 Lessons. He wrote the book 4 Lessons.
About my 3 sons or something. It's in my room.
I got it right here. Whew. Hey, my bag of crayons. 4 Lessons from My 3 Sons. He's not a veteran, but guess what?
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, he is. That's right, he is.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I think at one time he said he wasn't, but his 3 sons are in the military, as of right now. So we got him coming on. That's June 17th. The 23rd, we got Back to Heroes Rumble with Carl Whalen. The June 24th, Monday the 24th, I will be MIA because that's my wife's birthday. So I will be MIA that day. Then on the 26th of June, we'll have Tip of the Spear. And then rounding out June 24th, we'll be on live with Everydays and Saturdays host Brian Roof. So that rounds out June. So that's the next 2 months, pretty much. So, and then, like I said, we have dates available in July, and then we're starting to book in August as well. So if you're out there and you want to be a guest, email us at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com. But Miss Candace, it's been a great show, my friend.
It has.
So, like I always say, stay safe out there, and we got your six.
We got your six.
Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.